Hey, good evening, fellow Harley riders. I'm out here with my 1991 Softail Custom, and I went to change all three fluids for the spring. Came across a stuck oil filter. You guys have probably had this happen to you at some point, where the previous mechanic put that thing on there with some pretty good turns, and now it was so stuck I couldn't even budge it. So I tried with my typical wrench here. In fact, I have a couple of them. That one has a better handle. That's the one I actually used right here. But put that on there, and of course it was slipping to the point where it was no good, of course. And then afterwards it started crushing, as you guys have probably experienced at some point. So it was crushing it, not budging, and I was kind of running out of options. I didn't have one of those socket filter wrenches that goes on the end of the filter and turns to where those guys on YouTube were drilling holes in them. That looked like that could have worked. I just didn't have one of those. But actually, after pulling this thing off and seeing how much strength it actually took to budge, I'm not sure I could have got that leverage from just a socket and that filter wrench style. So what I ended up doing was looking around the shop, and I came across this. It is some grip tape. It's 3M grip tape that I had from another project. You know, you would set it on stairs, etc. It comes in about I don't know, for $5 or so, you get an 8-foot roll, 4-inch wide, something like you see here. But I had some, and I decided to try it. So I basically took the new filter and measured around it, the circumference of the new filter, and then cut it. And then I trimmed this 4-inch piece down to about a 1.5 inch, maybe almost a 2-inch strip. So what I did then was clean the filter off with some mineral spirits, because I had some oily hands on it and it was kind of slippery. So I cleaned it off and took this tape. I first took the adhesive backing off of this, so it got really sticky. But I just slid it up around the filter. It's hard to do it with one hand here, but I took it and pushed it down, of course, onto the filter all the way around, so it would stick all the way like so. And notice how I kind of put it on the base side of the filter, not the end of it here where it was already starting to crush. I put it over here so that it was going to resist the crushing due to the extra support of this, the base ring there. So, but obviously the sticky part really stuck to that chrome really, really well. And then of course you can see just how abrasive this outer edge is here, this outer face. At which point then this wrench went on there and it didn't budge. I started really putting some English on that, and it took a lot. I almost felt like I wanted to get a little leverage, a lever of some sort to extend this and get the mechanical advantage going. It was just that tight. But after, I didn't use anything else besides this, but after doing so, it started slowly turning, at which point I knew I was gonna probably get it off before it started crushing, and it sure enough worked. So here is the filter that I took off. As you can see, it was crushed pretty good on this outer edge and even underneath this tape here. But when I put this tape on, it held that wrench perfectly still. And man, this thing was on there. I think the mechanic that did this job for me last time was maybe a little afraid of it dripping or something, because he must have really put some strength on there to seal that thing. But anyway, it was too tight, and this did the trick. So I'm going to save some of this tape in the shop, because I've also had this happen when I was changing the oil on the cars, the kids' cars, etc. And it was either crushing or spinning on that wrench. So I think I'll use this here for that kind of a project too, if I end up getting into the same spot. Anyway, it worked. I just wanted to pass that on to you guys. Hopefully it gives you one more tool in the toolbox to try if you get stuck in the same spot that I was. That's it. Take care. Safe riding.